And welcome to WoW Flash, weekly news on anything to do with Warcraft. And today we've got tier 21 sets have been reworked a little bit. More player accounts have been banned. Blizzard have introduced a fantastic way to slaughter gnomes en masse. Absolutely fantastic. We've got more news on how the artifact skins are going to work after Legion. And we've got changes to the Path of the Titans trinkets, which you can get from the new raid that's coming in about a month. So, first of all, as we approach a new raid, Blizzard, of course, start making all those little tweaks. And this week it was the turn of the tier sets. They've been changing some of the secondary stats on it to the point where some secondary stats have gained and others lost, with some classes have tweaked on all of them. For example, Paladins, all 6 of the pieces have had tweaks, with gains in Mastery but losses to the other secondary stats. To a Retribution Paladin like myself, that would be at the moment. But in actual fact, you know, Mastery is looking quite good for this next tier. But there will be winners and there will be losers. Of course, each tier set is shared by at least 2 specs in the case of Demon Hunters, up to 4 in the case of Druids, and 3 for everyone else. And not all specs have the same priority for secondary stats. And so inevitably, you know, when you look at this, some of those specs will go, ooh, and some of those specs will go, But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, presumably this is all part of the balancing process that Blizzard will now be doing. Their encounters are largely designed. There's been some testing going on in the last couple of days as well for the raid bosses. Hopefully at this point, they're starting to look at how individual classes and specs are likely to do in them and make tweaks accordingly. More player accounts have been banned, as I say. Now, it's the usual thing with this. Blizzard say they've taken a number of actions against people for playing bots. They've made... I mean, obviously, ever since the game came out, bots have been a thing and Blizzard have been trying to tackle them. But I think it was quite notable in World of Warcraft, I would say personally, in the last expansion, that Blizzard do make like announcements. Whenever there's a sort of ban wave goes out, they do like to make an announcement just to remind everyone else, we are going to see these things. Use a bot, you know, you are going to be banned. I particularly remember the first time there was this major announcement, and this is in Warlords of Draenor, and I think it was during Blackrock Foundry, and 2 of my guild members just suddenly disappeared. They were just AFK one raid, didn't post anything, never seen again. Wonder what that was about. So yes, if any of your guild mates suddenly get disappeared, that might be the reason. Now, there's an event going on Saturday the 14th. As I do this, that is tomorrow. But if you're watching this tomorrow, it'll be today. And if you're watching this the day after, it's already gone. Which is called the Great Gnome Run. And they teased us with this all through the PTR as well. I was thinking, what's this about? What's this about? Do we get to race gnomes? Do we get to, you know, own them, buy them, put them in stables and then make them run for our pleasure? It turned out, no, this Great Gnome race is to race as a gnome. You know, so if you're not a gnome, but you are an alliance character, it will turn you into a gnome for this run. If you're a horde player, you can roll a level 1 gnome and take part in the race. It's an event. And at first, you know, when I heard this news, I was quite distraught. I thought, this is terrible. But then I realised, Blizzard, maybe they have been responding to my tickets after all. Because it's not a run, is it? This is ridiculous. Who would organise a Great Gnome Run? You know, a whole gaggle of gnomes just running around the icy wastes of Dunmer. That doesn't make any sense, does it? In World of Warcraft. And then I hit upon it. I know what they're after. So cunning. It's a way of getting a load of gnomes in one place. Now, what would you do if you could persuade a load of gnomes to all be in one place at once? You'd blow them all up, wouldn't you? Of course you would. So all these gnomes, in their brain-addled state, thinking it's just a fun run, are going to be racing through Dunmer, where there's plenty of icy ridges behind which you can easily hide grenade launchers, are going to be running very slowly on their stumpy little legs past that. Oh, I'm going to be there. You bet I'm going to be there. There was some more news about the artifact skins, the way we work. So all the way through Legion, Blizzard have been sort of working on this in terms of what they can do. They've always sort of wanted us to be able to use the skins we got in Legion to transmog onto normal weapons as soon as Legion was over. but the line initially was that any skins you don't get in Legion, you won't be able to get later on. They've since said that, the only ones they're going to put a block on are the ones that you get for the achievements for doing a +15 Mythic Dungeon and the ones for doing the Mage Tower encounter. So those are the 2 achievements you need to get before Legion if you want to use those skins. And all the other ones would be transmoggable, including the Druid ones, like Feral and Guardian Druid ones. But there's been another little piece of news which is probably going to be quite good. Obviously, with the +15 Mythic Dungeon achievement and the Mage Tower achievement, there are other colour variants as well. What they've said is, if you have the baseline, well, let's say the Mage Tower, for example, you've got the Mage Tower skin, but you don't have the colour variants, you will, even after Legion, be able to get those colour variants, as long as you've done the Mage Tower one before Legion ends. So it only means you have to get the base Mage Tower one, the base +15 Mythic Dungeon one. Any colour variants of those you don't have when Legion ends, you can still get. So that's pretty good news. And finally, there's been, on gameplay terms, some changes to the really major trinkets that you can get off the final boss in Antorus, the Burning Throne, the raid that's coming out in about a month's time. I've done a video about it, a bit more detail this week. I shall no doubt do it in even more detail at some point next week. But just cut a long story short, all of these trinkets are going to be 940 item level no matter what mode you get them on. You can't get them on LFR. They're all upgradable. So the idea is each week you do the final boss and you'll get a token. It'll work very much like the upgrade token for the Legendary Ring in WoD, where you complete it on any difficulty and you'll get this token. But you won't get multiple if you complete it on multiple difficulties. The first time you kill the final boss, Argus the Maker, you will get this token. So you can upgrade one of these trinkets if you already have one of these trinkets. One of the trinkets was instantly made item level 1000 because that's what you can upgrade them up to, 1000. And made legendary as well. But because the restrictions on using it is you can only have one Path of the Titans trinket equipped. That includes the new legendary one, the Amonful's Vision. It doesn't have the restriction on number of legendaries. So you can wear your 2 normal Legion legendaries and you can wear this one as well, which is classed as a legendary. Now, that sounds great first sight. And if you are lucky enough to get this early on, then that will be great. I gather, although this hasn't been officially confirmed as far as I can tell, that the drop rate on the legendary one will not be like the other ones. In fact, I gather it will drop like legendaries used to. Think back to Warglaives in Black Temple. It's the sort of thing it's going to be like 5% drop chance and that it's almost like a personal loot thing. But I haven't had that confirmed. So anyway, that's the news for this week. In terms of streaming, I'm going to be doing an extra stream on Saturday evening. From my point of view, it's going to be from 10 PM to like 1 AM, so 3 hours there. That should be a little bit better for our friends in North America as well. And largely to compensate for the fact I couldn't do one on Wednesday. I'll still be streaming Saturday afternoon as I always do. The normal schedule's there. It's up on my Twitch channel, so check that out. But there will be an extra one that's going to be Saturday evening as well. So thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.